As temperatures drop, most of us are thinking about furnace tune-ups and getting our homes ready for winter. But one important system is often overlooked: your electrical panel. Flickering lights, tripping breakers, even dead outlets can all be warning signs of bigger problems. Joining us today is master electrician Jeff Lanham from The Electric Doctor. Jeff, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, well, we have a lot to get to. We're going to be talking about your 10-point panel tune-up in just a few minutes, but we want to start with some common electrical panel problems, just electric problems. So flickering lights, which is always one that sticks with me, because as I've told you off camera, I have one of those. Like over my dining room table, I always get a flickering like chandelier light.
Right.
That could be problematic.
It can, and it's our most common item is people call in, and like you and I have spoke before that you have a flickering light, and so it can be multiple things. It could be a light switch. It can be a wiring problem, and I brought a prop along today.
Yes, you did.
I did, and sometimes it can be inside the electrical panel, which I have a prop here today, which I'm sure we'll get back to because some of the other stuff I have comes out of there too. But this is the piece that a lot of times is a failure. Not this one. This one's brand new.
Right.
But a lot of times it's
shiny.
in there.
Yeah. So. Okay. So something that you offer is that 10-point panel tune-up. So tell us a little bit about what that is. That is a service that you offer, where you will go to someone's home or business, I'm assuming, and just make sure everything checks out?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of people get tune-ups like on their cars.
Right.
You get a tune-up on your furnace and your air conditioner, but nobody remembers to get a tune-up on their electrical panel. Right. And so we have created a 10-point electrical checkup, and it checks the circuit breakers, which I just pointed to. Right. It checks those. It checks the wiring. We check your grounding to all of your outlets in your home. Those little GFCI things that you have, we test those and make sure they work. We test your smoke detectors and various things. So those are a lot of times. You go to the doctor and they're going to ask you, what hurts or what doesn't work for you, but your electrical system doesn't talk to you. So we go in and we ask those questions to your electrical system, and we do some testing and make sure that there isn't anything wrong. So we go a little deeper than just a regular diagnostics. We actually get deep into your electrical system and actually try to catch problems before they happen. Right. Because that's only going to happen on Sunday night or Saturday night when we are not readily available. When you're not readily,
that, and I think a lot of times too, obviously this is worst case scenario situation, but when you hear of like a house fire or something like that, and working in the news, oftentimes you hear from the fire department, well, it was electrical in nature. Right. And it's like, how would we have known that there was something wrong? And then, we've got this whole devastating situation that has happened because of that.
Right.
So.
An interesting thing is a lot of people say, well, the lights don't flicker regularly, but they dim when my furnace turns on or when I use the electric dryer. And those are the interesting things that are really kind of a bad situation. So a funny story is, it's actually how I met my wife 30 years ago, was she put a bird bath heater in the wintertime. Okay. And so that extra load on her panel made her panel actually fail. Okay. And had it not failed, it would have probably caught on fire. So luckily hers failed, and so we went out, we repaired it for her, and
then you guys went out.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't my original intention.
I love that.
First intention was to fix the electrical panel, but
of course.
The reward was well.
Well, so, wonderful.
Yep.
Okay, so some other things I want to talk about. Tripping breakers. So what does cause that? And your tune-up will address that.
Yes, it will. Okay. Yeah, we address that. So that's going to be an overload on the circuit breaker. That's one of the things I didn't mention is we're going to check the load on your circuits. So a lot of times that can be people in the wintertime, they start putting those room heaters in or those fireplaces. They plug those in, and those are heavy loads on your circuits. And if you don't have dedicated circuits to those items, it can overload those and overheat the receptacle, number one, but also your circuit breakers and things like that. So Yeah.
That's a big one. I think of too, like the holidays, and when you have like a bunch more people at your house and everyone's like blow drying their hair, and all of a sudden all the lights go out.
You got the toaster oven going, the oven going, the dryer going, all the relatives running around. You're right. You got the curlers going or whatever.
What are those situations?
Complete overload.
Complete overload. Okay. Finally, we have about a minute left with you. So dead switches and faulty outlets.
Yeah, so the dead switch is the reason I brought that up. That's when you go to your light switch and you flip it on and nothing happens. And when you go to that light switch and you flip it on and nothing happens, that's certainly an issue. And another fun fact, if you will, I had an outlet or switch at my house that I didn't repair. Of course, Dad, this doesn't work, and I kept ignoring it until finally sparks flew out of it. So you want to get that looked at as quickly as possible, because that again is the first telltale sign of a bigger problem.
Okay.
And we do research that, and we do cover that in our tune-up, which is normally $399, and with this segment, we're dropping that price to $199.
$199, so mention this segment.
More reason to call.
Awesome. Okay, so let's put that information on the screen for everybody then. We've got the website right here, electricdoctor.com, and then the phone number on the screen. So once again, if you want to do one of these 10-point panel tune-ups, which of course can catch a problem before it becomes an even bigger problem, make sure that you mention Jeff and this segment and QCL. Jeff, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, we appreciate you.